lost my shadow and violent sin. I lost my shadow and violent sin. Never knew the search would be within. Never saw the sun until it was too late, too late.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be possible. So with that being said, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, Low Nose Boxing. We're going to talk about the upcoming fight this Saturday night between Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. This fight is not receiving the type of promotion that the fight deserves. We've had some big fights lately. We recently had Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko. We had Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia, right? And I always talk about the four young kings in boxing, which is Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Teofimo Lopez. And an older video that I made, I talked about that 2023 was going to be the year that the four kings were really going to start making a name for themselves throughout the sport of boxing. And I've been right. And now we got Teofimo Lopez taking on Josh Taylor. This is a fight where we have two former undisputed champions. Teofimo Lopez was the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, and he dropped those belts to George Kambosos in a upset loss. Josh Taylor was the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world. He had all four belts. Josh Taylor never lost. However, he was relinquished of 3 of those titles due to the politics of boxing. This fight is not getting the promotion that it deserves. This fight is going to be held in Madison Square Garden in the Hulu Theater. The magnitude of this fight should be held in the big room. This fight doesn't even have a press conference. But nevertheless, I'm going to do what I got to do to promote this fight. And I'm definitely going to tune in. Like I said before, both fighters are highly accomplished fighters. Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor are fighters that have a lot of accolades. And they each have less than 20 fights. Both guys have been undisputed. Both of them. Both guys have very impressive resumes. Teofimo Lopez has wins over Vasyl Lomachenko. He has wins over Richard Comey. He has wins over Sandor Martin. And then we got Josh Taylor. He defeated Regis Prograis. He defeated Jose Ramirez, Victor Postal, and Ivan Baranchyk. So both guys are proven fighters. Both champions have proven that they can perform on the highest level, right? Which brings me to my next topic. In their most recent fight, both Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor struggled. Teofimo Lopez had a lackluster decision over Sandor Martin, a fight in which he was knocked down. It was a controversial knockdown, but nevertheless, it was scored a knockdown. Me personally, I had Teofimo Lopez winning that fight 8 rounds to 2, 7 rounds to 3, and that's just being generous towards Sandor Martin. But nevertheless, it still was not a vintage Teofimo Lopez performance. And Josh Taylor as well had a very tough fight against Jack Catterall, a fight that was actually controversial, a fight where Jack Catterall actually dropped Josh Taylor, a fight where many people feel that Jack Catterall should have won that fight. So I don't know if the promotional company is not confident in these two individuals based on their last performance, but I'm not going to go with that narrative. I'm not a slave to the moment. I've seen this story before. I've seen this movie before. You can't judge a fighter based off of his last performance. There's a narrative that says you're as good as your last fight. That's not entirely true. And like I said before, I've seen this before. Vasyl Lomachenko, prior to his fight with Devin Haney, he struggled badly against Jermaine Ortiz. Going into the Devin Haney fight, many people felt that Lomachenko had no shot at winning whatsoever, right? Nevertheless, Lomachenko turned back the clock, put up a tremendous performance, and in the eyes of many observers, including myself, I had Lomachenko winning that fight 115 to 113. Even though I predicted that Devin Haney would win a very close decision, which is exactly what happened, but nevertheless, Lomachenko turned it up for that fight. This is what great fighters do. Evander Holyfield, going into his showdown against Iron Mike Tyson, prior to that fight, he faced off against Bobby Chaz, who was a former cruiserweight champion, but yet past his prime. Evander Holyfield looked terrible into that fight. He looked terrible. He had a bad performance, right? But then what happened in his next fight? He stopped Iron Mike Tyson, Pernell Whitaker, leading into his fight with Oscar De La Hoya. Many people were saying that Pernell Whitaker was showing signs of slipping, signs of slowing down. And leading into that fight, he struggled against a young Cuban fighter. Pernell Whitaker had to rally from behind and come back to knock the guy out in the 12th round. So going into the Oscar De La Hoya fight, people were not giving him a chance. But Pernell Whitaker, like Vasyl Lomachenko, turned back the hands of time and put up a very, very, very vintage Pernell Whitaker type of performance where many observers felt that he was robbed of the victory. So with that being said, I believe that both Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor are going to come into this fight with their A game. Both guys have a tremendous skill set. Josh Taylor's, he's tall, he's rangy, he got decent punching power, he can fight on the inside, and he's also very crafty. Very crafty. He's a dirty fighter on the inside. Teofimo Lopez hasn't really shown his inside game, but I've seen him in sparring. I've seen him in earlier fights where he did use a little bit of that James Toney shoulder roll, where he would knock you with the shoulder and come up with the uppercut. Teofimo Lopez does have an underrated inside game, and he's gonna have to use that inside game to get Josh Taylor off of him when he's on the inside. Now, the way I see this fight going, I believe Teofimo Lopez has all of the intangibles to win this fight. He's younger, he's fresher, he's faster, he's more athletic, he's explosive, and he does have the boxing skills. And he's shown that when he puts it all together, he can perform at the highest level. This is going to be a tough fight. But I see Teofimo Lopez surviving some moments, but I also see him counterpunching and walking Josh Taylor into some big shots and eventually stopping him somewhere in the later rounds. That's my prediction. And so far I've been on point. Like I said, even though I had Lomachenko beating Devin Haney, even though I said that I wouldn't be surprised if Lomachenko were to beat Devin Haney, my prediction was Devin Haney by a close decision. Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, I said Gervonta Davis by TKO or KO between 7 and 12 rounds. And Gervonta got him out of there in 7 rounds. So I'm picking Teofimo Lopez to win this fight, late round stoppage. Now this fight can build up the legacy of either fighter depending on how it turns out. Teofimo Lopez at one point was in the top 5 pound for pound after the Lomachenko victory, but then after losing to Josh Taylor, he was removed from the pound for pound list. Josh Taylor was on the pound for pound list, right? But due to that performance against Jack Catterall, he was removed from that list. Whoever wins this fight should go back on the top 10 pound for pound list. As far as the pound for pound list, that's a whole nother story, that's a whole nother video. But nevertheless, share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I apologize I haven't done videos lately. I've been very busy at work, but I'm gonna try my best to be more more active. Y'all have a great day. It was a pleasure sharing boxing with you. Low Nose Boxing. Tune in this Saturday night, Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. I'm out.